Now on to part 2 of how I used up one rotisserie chicken. So all of the meat that I took off the bone, I decided to make a hot chicken salad. And I'm going to be using a can of cream of chicken soup. I'm just scooping that into a bowl, and I'm going to add the other wet ingredients in the smaller bowl, which is 3/4 cup of mayonnaise. And then I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm just mixing that up very well together. And this is an old recipe. I made this a lot back in the 80s, and I just kind of remembered it and thought that would be great to use up all of the chicken that I got off the rotisserie chicken I purchased from Costco. So I'm mixing that up very well. Now in another bowl, I'm going to be mixing up the chicken and all of the other ingredients separately. So there's 4 cups of the cut up rotisserie chicken. The recipe called for 2 cups of chopped celery. I only used 1. My husband's not a big fan. I've got 3 chopped boiled eggs, 2/3 cup of slivered almonds. You could use pecans, chopped pecans if you wanted, but I like the almonds. And I'm going to be adding in 1 jar, which is about 2 tablespoons of pimentos. Now you could substitute chopped red bell pepper for this, but I love the pimentos. And then 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese, and I'm saving 1/2 cup to sprinkle later on top. Now we're going to take a big spoon and just kind of stir all this up together. Now you could add in about 1/2 cup of chopped onions and 1/2 cup of chopped green bell pepper, and that would be good too. So all of this gets mixed together, and then we're going to add in the mayonnaise and cream of chicken soup mix. I just pour that right into the bowl and then incorporate it all into the chicken and vegetables. It's a very easy, very quick, delicious chicken salad. Now I've already sprayed some butter Pam in my casserole dish. So that's what you need. You need a good greased casserole dish. I have the oven preheating at 400 degrees. And then after this gets all mixed together, we're going to pour it into that casserole dish. Now the recipe called for you to make this the day before and refrigerate it overnight. This batch I went ahead and cooked, but it is better if you let it refrigerate overnight. So I'm just pouring all of that into the casserole dish and kind of pressing it down. And it is a very good, delicious dish. It's good the second day cold, and it's very good hot. So I'm just smoothing it all out, and then we're going to top it with the rest of that cheese, and then kind of a little surprise that most people would not think of. So there goes the cheese. Just sprinkling the other 1/2 cup on top of the casserole. And then the little surprise element that gives it a really good flavor is to take potato chips and crush those up and then sprinkle those on top of the cheese. So I've just got some regular potato chips and I've crushed them, and then I'm just sprinkling it on top of the casserole. And it does give it a really good flavor. You could use Ritz crackers on top, or breadcrumbs, whatever you like, but the potato chips are salty and they really give this a good taste. So then I'm going to cover the whole thing with foil. And as the recipe stated, you are to refrigerate this overnight and cook the next day, which works perfect because you'll have your dinner for the next day. You do bake it covered at 400 for 30 minutes. Then you remove the foil and cook it for 5 more minutes. And here it is, all nice and done, very hot, very delicious. And I just served this with some Ritz crackers. My husband liked it so much he came back and got a whole nother bowl full. It is very good and a very easy way to use up that rotisserie chicken meat. It was so good. So I hope you'll give this a try. I'll leave the ingredients and measurements in the description box below. But hot chicken salad, that's an old good recipe to use, but with that leftover chicken, there's just so many possibilities that you can use when you buy one rotisserie chicken. Look at that. So good. But wait a minute, I got one more idea. Can you believe this? Don't throw away the container that your chicken came in. I washed it out and I'm kind of experimenting. See, there's a nice lid and the base. I've washed it good. I'm experimenting with microgreens, and I'll do a video later about those. But I poured some seed starting mixture into the base of the container and just kind of pack this down and spread it out. And then I'm going to spread out my microgreen seeds. Now this is new to me, but in 7 days they will sprout, and you can cut these with a pair of kitchen scissors and eat them at like salad. So I'm going to try this out. I've got this cute little greenhouse now from my rotisserie chicken. Put the lid back on and set it over on my warming mat, and I'll share with you how this turns out. But in 7 days, I'm supposed to have a nice crop of microgreens that I can cut and eat like a salad. This would be perfect for the winter months when you can't get out and garden. So over on the side of my counter, I've got my collard seed starts and spinach and Swiss chard going for the fall. And I'm just going to set this over on the warming mat beside it, and I'll share how this does. This is a new thing for me. So there you go. There's no waste for that one rotisserie chicken. I even used the container. So let's go back and recap how I used the one rotisserie chicken. We had a delicious salad chicken supper the night that I brought it home. I made 4 quarts of chicken broth, and then we had the next day the delicious hot chicken salad. So thank you so much for watching and for all your nice comments. I'm so glad I got that comment thing fixed. I hope everyone has a very blessed day. Thanks so much for watching.